Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa is my lovely wife, my co-host, and overall great gal, Melissa Nickerson.
Hey.
Hey, cheers to you,
Cheers,
Mel.
I
Your
finished.
cup's always empty. To us.
To us.
To you. To Andy. To the moon. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate you. Backseaters, welcome back. We got a lot to talk about today. We are still in the heights of what I'm calling mayhem.
Mayhem.
I don't know how I missed that last week. Which, you know what, it's okay that I did, because even in that rant, mayhem would not have played well as a joke, but as a written pun, it's pretty good.
It's good.
We're here to talk about Pimple Patches. We're here to talk about freeway drives with your kid. We're here to talk about maybe some acid reflux. We're here to talk about just more end of the school year stuff in May. We are in it. We are in it. Before I go into that,
crawling to the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we do any of that, let's do a little business. If you are a regular backseater and if you have not taken the time to give us a review on Apple, iTunes, podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you may listen, great. Watching on YouTube, a comment, all that stuff. It's super helpful. Also, if you are a regular viewer of the podcast, we are going to be switching the release date. I'm telling this to our producer. And that
Sunday night.
Our audio podcast comes out on Wednesdays. The video podcast will be available to patrons only on Wednesdays at noon, and then it'll be out on Thursday on YouTube. So if you would like early access to the video, that happens on Wednesdays now.
Via Patreon.
And then the rest of the video comes out on Thursday. If you're not familiar with Patreon, that's a good little setup, and that's just a way you can get a little more from the pod and give a little more. You get the shout-outs at the end if you're the 25 tier and up. We got discount on merch. We got merch coming. We got
merch in the works.
Merch in the works.
Yep. You get cameos. You get
meet and greets at shows.
Yes, that's a big one.
That's a big one, especially with this tour coming up, which will segue nicely into we can hang out. We say a little hi in the green room before the shows, or a hallway near the green room. You know, these are not nice venues. I play. They are. Some of them are really nice, actually. But Zoom Hang, we do a monthly Zoom Hang with all of our patrons,
and we've got one coming up.
Unbelievable. This is
by.
One detail that I ask you to have ready.
Here we go.
Do not edit any of this out. Let the moment.
Okay.
I'm just filling for you here.
6 days away.
It's this
May
weekend?
22nd. It's Monday, May 22nd.
Monday, May 22nd.
That is our monthly Zoom Hang for May.
But there's Monday Night Football.
What? In May?
No. Oh, look at you. You do the seasons. Fantastic. Hey. We were watching. Melissa is so sad that the Kraken lost last night because she kept saying, when will this end? Because
another game?
Mel has never been. Our son was like 1 when the Sonics left. Or something like that.
All right.
Yeah. And
he was born in 2007.
Yeah, I don't remember what year the Sonics left, but so you've never had like me paying attention to a spring sport.
No.
Because baseball wraps up in the fall, football gets started in the fall. Those are kind of the ones.
It's more like fall based.
Yeah, World Cups every 4 years. But now I haven't had an NBA team, and now I have a hockey team. And I barely know the rules. There was a thing that happened yesterday. It was a delayed penalty, and I was like, I have no idea what's happening. And then our goalie was out for some reason. Not empty net at the end of the game, just in the middle of the game. They're like, it's a delayed penalty, and there goes Grubauer, and I'm like, what is happening?
It's when a penalty happens to the defense, but then the defense now holds the puck. So basically, if they score, then they don't give the penalty.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
So that's why they can pull the goalie, because the second the puck touches who offended the penalty, the whistle's blown. But they get an extra player on the ice to be able to score in lieu of a penalty.
Oh.
That's
Wow.
delayed penalty.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That's a crazy rule.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Now
that
you
happened. Yeah, I still don't understand it. I'm just very polite. And I'm good at I'm good at pretending that I'm understanding what I'm hearing. I learned
Okay.
that in school.
Well, maybe if we put you in an ice rink in it, then you could know what that meant.
Let's do that right now. Let's go down to the Croc Center, my former employer, and still currently your part-time employer. So yeah, check out Patreon for that. Also, lots of dates coming up. I'm not going to read them all.
I was going to say, if you're going to read them, let me ping pong.
I'm just going to do. I'm going to do just the upcoming ones.
Okay.
This weekend, Salt Lake City, 19th and 20th.
That's right.
Boom. And then next week, you got Brea, the 24th, the 26th and 27th, Des Moines, Iowa, and then I'm just going to do June, and then I'm just list cities after that. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Because you know what?
Okay,
It's not easy. 13th and 14th in Chicago, the 15th in Rosemont, the 16th and 17th here in San Diego.
Woo.
If you go to the right show, you're going to see Mel and maybe Andy at that one. 18th in LA, that's 2 shows. The 21st in Orlando, the 22nd in Tampa, the 24th and 25th in Boston, the 28th in Charlotte, the 29th in Raleigh. And then after that, we've got North Charleston, Tacoma, Pittsburgh, Nashville, Atlanta, San Jose, Fresno, Sacramento, Omaha, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Tulsa, Addison, San Antonio, Houston, Oklahoma City, Austin, Phoenix, Cleveland, Columbus, Liberty. There you go.
You did it. Well
There,
done.
that's way easier to do. Just go to DustinNickerson.com/shows to check all that out.
They're all
Boom, boom. As Melissa said here,
Mhm.
we are just absolutely, I mean, it is mid-May, and we are just limping to the finish line of the school year.
Uh-huh.
The more that I think about it, I think that The Lord of the Rings is a metaphor for the school year.
Yeah.
The closer
So who's Frodo?
Frodo is the child.
Okay.
Frodo is the child.
And then Sam,
Is the parent.
the parent and the teacher.
Here, I could go exactly. I could go either way. What I actually think it is it depends the perspective that you're asking.
Sure.
Because on one hand, you could say the parents were the rest of the council that had to send your kid on their own,
Okay.
and
yeah.
it's the teacher
'cause
carrying them.
Ideally,
But that only is if you have a good
parent-
teacher. Because there's other times that are like, no, I feel like I'm carrying you. But I mean, for the bulk of the schoolwork, obviously, the teacher's doing the work.
Ideally, the parent is not, turning in the assignments.
Yeah.
Ideally.
And the
You're supposed to let your children learn
Yeah.
from failure unless it's mid-May.
yeah. And the other siblings are Gollum. Just trying to
The
sabotage
spider?
them and ruin them. The spider is the flu that comes in the spring.
Yeah, a spring
A
flu.
spring flu.
Which makes the elves.
Well, the elves are part of the council,
Okay,
Mel.
You're funny, Dustin. I'm just setting you up.
Don't ruin my
I'm just throwing
metaphors.
stuff at you. I did not read Lord of the Rings like you.
I think that I
I think the elves are the other parents that are like telling you how to do it.
yeah, that's probably true.
And what you're doing
I
wrong.
think the Eagles are field day.
The trees. The trees are yearbooks. showing up.
Yeah, just a little win,
Hey,
just a
we
little
got
win to help
yearbooks.
you get through it. But yeah, your kid, it is mid-May right now, and your kid, Frodo's not at the top of Mount Doom yet, but it's when they're at the base of the mountain, and then the army leaves, right? Because remember, the Aragorn decides to. Like they don't know. They're like, well, we have this giant army. How is Frodo gonna get to the top of the mountain? And so they decide to go to the gates of Mordor to
Yeah.
draw out the armies and make the path. So that's happening. The path is there for the kid. But now at this stage, it's just Frodo and Sam. Just that's all.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
The little dwarfs. No, they're not dwarfs. Dude, okay.
Remember his book, The Dwarfs?
Oh gosh, the dwarf.
I tried to say
starring
something.
Bilbo Baggins.
I messed up.
I'm gonna let's wait till
okay,
you remember.
Listen.
Let's wait till
Well,
you remember.
I have an analogy. I thought of one.
Okay. Here we go. You're so proud of it.
I'm so proud. Saruman
Uh-huh.
is the children's lack of motivation.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Saruman.
Yeah, absolutely. And in some cases, it's the principal. It doesn't,
I'm still trying to remember what they are. Hobbits.
There it is. There it is.
The book.
Yeah, some people think it's a giant allegory for World War II, and I'm here to tell you it's actually just about a school year. The giant journey from the Shire to the fire of Mount Doom is just one allegory from one school year.
September
it's just about
through May.
one school year. That's it.
Did you post that meme? Or is it someone else that shows the picture of like in the Shire in the beginning? It's like beginning of the school year in the fall, and it's just end of the school year.
No,
it's
I
like,
didn't post
it's
that.
Like him, like in the.
That's
in the-
hilarious. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, dang it. Some meme. I had this
You're
super.
just as creative as a meme.
But
you know what? Memes are very creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we get into the other stuff, how was your Mother's Day?
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it because you completely planned it? You didn't plan it. You did not plan it. You told me exactly what you wanted.
That's true.
And I think
Also,
that this is a mature way to do Mother's Day.
Yeah, it only took me 16 years to figure out what I
What you wanted. Yeah.
But also, I mean, I credit you and Taylor in your pre-planning because you guys went out and did a show a day early so you could fly home on Mother's Day.
Well, that had nothing to do with me. That was
No, but you guys, she was like, do you want to be home that day?
Yes.
Or are we going to do a show that
Imagine
day?
if I said no. Nah, I'm good.
I mean, there's just a couple that, like Halloween is a big one when you have little kids.
Yeah.
That you're like, I don't want to miss that night.
I remember getting offered a Halloween gig, and it was
often.
I explained to the booker, I was like, I know this is weird, but like Halloween's like a big one in my family. Like that's a big one. If you were to choose ones to miss, I would probably put Thanksgiving ahead of Halloween.
Like it would Christmas Eve. Yeah.
It would go Christmas, Halloween, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Now, no one's doing a gig anywhere on Thanksgiving, so it's not even.
No,
really
like Easter's not really a problem because that's a bad weekend.
Yeah.
For comedy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
it's
feel
just
like
one
I've
of
done
those.
some Easter gigs.
You made it home though.
I have made it home
Yeah.
for Easter.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll be home for Easter.
It was very
Only
nice.
in my dreams.
It was nice that you were home.
Well, I
did Father's Day last year. Remember? I FaceTimed with Bert Kreischer on Father's Day last year.
Yeah, that was an exciting one. Yeah, this would be here's our 19-year married tip. And this is the thesis of our book is find out what works for you. Find out what your person wants and
communicate
it.
Which is hard.
It is. And
It's hard.
I had to really press you. Like my job,
I know.
My husband fatherly job on this one was not actually to plan and surprise you on something because I've done that before and it's not been received well, or it's been received kind of like, I didn't really want this stuff. Thank you, but you're not. But
I'm
what
not
this?
really a gift person.
No. And this one was, what do you want to do? And I asked for weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks. Now, it's complicated because my dad's birthday's in there and Joel's birthday's in there and Mel's got some holiday baggage. Yeah. And so there's a lot of, and it's May, it's all the stuff. And so my job was to press. Tell me what you want and I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and
honestly, this is exactly what's happening with our son.
Yes.
Because he turned 16
you guys
Saturday.
Are so much alike.
And we're very
crazy how much you're
very
alike.
similar. And so he doesn't have his license yet, so that just didn't happen. He's gonna do the driving test in July. It's a long process now. So it just didn't happen on his birthday. But we did this whole back and forth. Like, do you want a party? Do you want some pizzas? Do you want some friends over? And he had a good day, but he's reaching that age where he has, parents aren't going to plan.
No.
It's time to kind of be an adult and, get your friends together or get your family together.
Yeah.
Make a plan about how you want to spend
it's your 16th birthday. We bought him 2 skateboards, actually, or two decks and then a whole new
or do you want to do a big thing or a big gift?
Yeah. We also are accommodating him getting his license and the car situation.
Insurance.
All that kind of stuff. And there was a meal out and there was some other gifts too. But in regards to like party, like you don't really throw a party for a 16-year-old boy, like in the sense that you're like, all right, mom got some matching plates at the house, and we got a piñata, we got the bouncy house, we got
I do try not to be like steamroll mom and be like, I planned your homecoming, have your friends come over. Like
right.
I do want, like, we got these cars driving you around town. Like,
right.
I do want to give the kids like some ownership and like, I mean, you're a teenager, like, but teenagers plan everything last minute. So
or not at all.
Or not at all. Like,
I think that you reach a certain age where what you should, I mean, every family's different. And so there's different family values. And sometimes, you know, there's obviously like, you know, quinceañeras and stuff. And
those are obviously
that's like a bigger thing.
planned.
But like we've reached an age where like, bro, you're 16. Like, we'll get you a gift and a family dinner. That's where we're at. Like, I don't.
Well, and
if you want us to do something, if you're like, hey, can you rent out a movie theater for me and my friends? Sure. That's okay. We'll look into that. But
yeah,
you got to show some initiative. You know? I remember pretty much starting around 14. It's like it was an annual dinner at Claim Jumpers. That's what we did. We did a Claim Jumper's birthday, and my grandpa
that
would
was
be
your
in town.
choice.
Everybody, that was it. I liked the small apple. That was my favorite. No, I'm just kidding. That was one of those things where I don't even know if it was my choice, but you know how that happens in a family every once in a while, where you go to a restaurant once as a kid and you say you like it, and they're like, Dustin loves Claim Jumpers. That is his favorite restaurant. He's like obsessed with Claim Jumpers. He loves Claim Jumpers. I was like, I mean, it's all right. Yeah, I like it.
The funny thing about that though is it was a good location, because if you had people north and south, it was in the middle.
Yeah, South Center, baby.
And so it was like special because it wasn't in your city. I don't know.
Yeah, I got to drive to Tukwila. That's always
by the airport.
That's nice. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I wanted to have more. I wanted to have good airport access just in case.
I don't know.
I was leaving this family behind.
These are challenging dynamics. So I told you I wanted to hike on Mother's Day because we had been to Balboa, and you were like, "Let's do. It's beautiful. You love Balboa," and I was like, "I told you I want to hike."
Yes. Yeah. I proposed an idea and I got reprimanded for it. So that's fun. It's a good time. That's a fun dynamic. So, But and you wanted to do again, you live the Michael Jordan meme. And I took that personally. Dustin, what about going to Balboa? That's your favorite place in San Diego. I told you what I wanted. Okay. Who's the Eye of Sauron here? No, I think that you said I wanted to go on a hike, and you wanted to do one dinner that covered everything, right?
Yeah, and then the funniest thing was our waitress was like, "What are we celebrating here?" And Happy Mother's Day. And I was like,
everything.
I was like, yeah, it's his birthday and his birthday too. And she was like, oh, isn't that kind of weird that you put them all together?
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd want my own dinner. And we were like, no.
Yeah. You're like a 22-year-old waitress. I understand why you think that, but we obviously have a bigger.
Buy one, get three.
We got more interesting dynamics going to our family here than this, you know.
I don't know. So Joel was born on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So I have thrown birthday parties for Joel. Like most Mother's Day weekends.
Yeah.
Usually on Saturday because no one's free on Sunday.
Yeah.
So my expectations for the holiday are just kind of based on that.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Having a Mother's Day baby is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's really nice, really special. I mean, it makes for a crazy May. Insert mayhem, but
and I do. You're right. I will admit that I do not make it easy on my loved ones.
That's very nice of you to say. I'm glad that this is publicly documented and might be used in court if it ever comes to it.
And so what happened was
this is going to be shown in a trial Wife murders husband on May 14th. I admit, I do not make it easy on my loved ones in the month of May. Your Honor, this is pretty much a confession.
On Saturday night, I was like, Gloria, what did Dad ask you to do today? And she was like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, well, that's back Friday. Tay and I are driving our weekend. We were based in SF, and then we had a Friday night. We were staying in SF. We were doing shows in Oakland Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we drove to Fresno and back that night, and then Saturday again in Oakland. So we call you Friday in the car, and I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I'm shopping. And that was you getting which is so funny because I think it was Mother's Day last year, or one of the things, I actually went to that store and got you some
That
things.
was Christmas.
That was Christmas. I went and got you some things, and you're like, cool, how about I go get the things?
Well, you were like, hey, they're having a sale because you had gone with Joel.
Yeah.
And so
I
you're
said
like,
they
you
had a
should
good
go
sale
back.
Yeah, and you did not even look at that sales rack. You went to you went to the double priced rack. Do you got anything 50% on?
More.
50%.
So
And I love it.
I was like, I have like an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go check out that store. And so I was like, yeah, I found some stuff and I'm going to buy it. And then you asked Gloria to wrap it.
Yeah.
She was like, why did you buy your own presents?
And now why do I have to wrap them?
And then she forgot to wrap them. And then she was like, and then she wrapped them really funky just to be spiteful. And
which is hilarious.
And then everyone was like, yeah, let's watch you open what you bought yourself.
Yeah. There are a million things that I love about you. Here's one thing that I absolutely love about you. You bought yourself Mother's Day presents. You had your children wrap them. And you could not have been happier opening them. You opened them with the glee of a little child on Christmas morning. You were so happy. You knew what was in them.
No surprises.
But you knew you liked it. You were so excited. You just like, and then you held it up like we were going to take a picture to send to grandma. And you're like, and it was amazing. You were so happy. I've never seen you be happier opening a present than the one that you bought yourself and had your child wrap. I love it. I love it.
I don't want a surprise.
It took us 19 years to figure that out, and not a lack of 19 years. There were some. I know there were some Mother's Days that I botched along the line, especially as a young dumb husband. But there has been efforts over the years. But 19, I guess we're not 19 Mother's Days, but 15 Mother's Days in, 16 Mother's Days.
I mean,
the first one doesn't count. You were in labor. 15 Mother's Days in, I felt like this was the real sweet spot.
I know. It's a collaboration. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's very similar to like the internet will say, moms, if you do the Christmas shopping, like either tell your kids or your spouse, like, get me a stocking full of stuff.
Right.
Or buy your own stocking full of stuff. Or buy your own stocking. And then open it.
Yeah, which you do. The other thing that happened at that meal is Melissa is on a real hot streak of strangers telling her doppelganger.
Yes.
I
don't know what it is.
You got Winona Ryder. Boom. Happy Mother's Day to you. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And then yesterday on YouTube, you got
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Alba. I don't remember this stuff. Alba.
Jessica Alba.
ABBA,
it's a
musical group.
It's an ABBA Jessica Rabbit tribute band. It's
Hobbit.
It's a very sexualized cartoon doing ABBA songs. It's a lot.
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit. That's exactly it. No, you got Jessica Alba and Winona Ryder. And didn't you get a third one recently?
Yes, I did.
You had a Natalie Portman.
Oh, yeah.
I got a Rachel McAdams.
And
too.
a Rachel McAdams. Holy smokes.
It has been.
Meanwhile, I had a couple.
Bill's having a minute.
Yeah, meanwhile.
Everyone was in their 40s.
Yes.
Complimenting that. That's the only way.
Meanwhile, I cannot stop getting the Green River Killer. I cannot stop. It haunts me every day. The amount of people that still know about him on the internet, it is upsetting. Because not enough people know about that in a comedy crowd, that if I do that joke, it gets a laugh, except in the Northwest, it murders. Bad joke. That was not intentional. Oh, my gosh. Much like the Green River Killer himself, that joke only murders in the Northwest. You know what? That was a good moment to watch to watch the prison that a comedian lives in. I accidentally made a joke, and then through pain and absolute lack of joy, I made the next joke. I didn't even really want to. I just felt like I had to. That's where you're like, this is what I do. I put the word association together. My brain made the ha-ha. Let me put this out to the masses like the joke robot that I am. Just absolutely devoid of any genuine happiness in it. Anyways, congrats on being Jessica Alba.
Thank you.
When was the last time you watched? There's an interesting dynamic in Who Framed Roger Rabbit where Betty Boop is jealous of Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's in love with Roger.
Yeah, I'm shocked how young I was when I saw that movie.
Yeah, that movie was like, you're like, this couldn't hit me at a more confusing time of my life. Yeah.
Animated rabbit.
Yeah. Well, Jessica's the issue. Jessica's not. Jessica is.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. See, seriously, I was thinking.
But she's in love with the goofy rabbit, and that. I mean, now that I think about it, that really kind of set my whole life down a certain course, didn't it?
It shaped all of us nerds out there.
Yeah, you're like, you mean if I can be funny, I can land a Jessica Rabbit? Yes, please. For non-watchers, I pointed to Melissa in that scenario. Jokes,
Close
baby.
enough. Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba. So anyways, weekend recap. I'll make it quick. It wasn't even a full weekend because we were doing Wednesdays and Thursdays in Oakland. Bay Area, I love you. You're always great. I love your city more than I love your comedy crowds. I can get so groany. Get over yourself, Bay Area.
It's jokes.
If you are groaning at me, no more comedy shows. No more comedy shows. But I get it. I do think it is funny.
To quote the Seattle club owner, if you're offended by Dustin, please never come back.
That's very funny. Yes, a girl walked out of one of my shows, and he said, if you're offended by that, he goes, that is the least offensive comedian that I book. So if you're offended by him, please never come to a comedy show again. It's great. It's very funny. That's a good story. Mm-hmm. Don't know that I'll ever work that club again. Ideally, I won't, but we'll leave it at that. They were fine. Actually, also some of it was Taylor and I were talking about. It was also Wednesday and Thursday shows, and a Wednesday crowd is just stone cold sober. I mean, just nothing, and they all have work that day and work the next day. Yeah. And Oakland's a pain to get to. And I know that I don't mean I'm not trying. A lot of people's cars were getting broken into in there, and that's tough. Mm-hmm. But that was my joke. I was like, come on, man! Like, you guys have real crime to worry about. Could you stop being offended by thought crimes here, Oakland? You've got some bigger issues at hand here. But that means my joke about Oakland, and they laughed at this, was like, Oakland is like, somebody asked you to describe it, you'd be like, is it cool? I'd be like, yes. And like, is it nice? I'd be like, no, it is not. It is a cool, not nice place, but I like it. It's gritty. I like it a lot. But Taylor sells so many tickets that it's not even just Oakland. It's Oakland. It's the whole Bay Area. People are coming up from, South Bay, and people are coming from the city and all that kind of stuff. So all that being said, really fun crowds. I've given them a hard time, but they were great. And then the Fresno show was exactly what you expect Fresno to be on a Friday. Fresno crowds are very grateful that an artist like Taylor came there because it's not a given.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of come up. It's small cities are weird. We've talked about this where like you kind of have to play a smaller non-major city. You either have to be like on your come up and like an unknown, or a big name. Because if you, like, I'm doing a Fresno show, but it's like a 60-seater. It's not a big room because you have to, like, be totally unknown playing some unknown room. Excuse me. Or you have to be able to sell. I mean, they give her a big Ticketmaster ticket printed out that said Sella. They don't have a lot of sellouts there at that room. They were trying to add shows, and Tay's like, I'm good. Like, oh, sorry, I got the hiccups. How embarrassing.
You want some water?
Hiccups as an adult are humiliating. It's so embarrassing to have hiccups as an adult. Get your life together. What is wrong with you that you have hiccups as an adult? That's so. What are you, a baby? Do you need me to put you on your shoulder and pat you?
Yeah.
What are you with a symptom of? Okay, I'm like a grown adult with hiccups. Hey, don't mind me, everybody. I'm just gonna hold my breath for a while. Anyone got any peanut butter? Could somebody scare me, please? Hiccups as an adult is absolutely humiliating. It's
not acceptable.
I'm so embarrassed when I have hiccups. I might as well be carrying around a burp cloth for when I have to spit up my food that I just ate. What a joke.
Did you see the article about Bo Jackson?
He's had it for a year, right?
He's had it for a year.
Yeah.
But the tagline was like, I guess Bo doesn't know fear.
You know who? Yeah, you know who said that?
Who said that?
Dusty Slay.
Yes, that's
Dusty
what it was.
Slay did that joke. Dusty Slay.
Nice.
It was said. I guess this is what happens when you're not scared of anything.
Amazing.
Grown-ups hiccups are. I'm so embarrassed. If I have hiccups in a group setting, I leave.
You always leave.
That's true, but especially if I have hiccups.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't know what causes them. I have no idea how to get rid of them. I'm humiliated.
You don't want to look into that either.
Of course not. I don't want to research anything on that. Oh, all right, everybody. I have to buy Damien Rice tickets right now. They went on sale right now.
Hey, go.
They went
Go.
Do you have your wallet?
Huh?
You got your wallet?
I don't need them.
Oh. Okay.
I might need it. Due to demand for tickets, you may experience extended wait time. We appreciate. Oh, I've never done this. I've never had to be this guy before. Oh, I don't. I mean, I don't think Damien Rice tickets are going to be that in demand, are they? I mean, they might be. He hasn't toured here on a long time.
4 cities in the U.S.
I know he's only
playing.
doing 4 U.S. cities.
Oh, wow.
Oh, come on. I think I'm in. Nope. They keep doing this. Would you mind keeping an eye on it?
Sure.
All right. So we have a couple topics that we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
And Mel, there's like a fad with like young kids right now, and it's Pimple Patches.
Yes.
Pimple Patches.
Very trendy right now.
They're very, very trendy right now.
If you go into like a coffee shop, you will definitely see baristas wearing them.
Yes, 100% you will.
And sometimes they're just clear circles.
Pretty
like
rare anymore.
For a skin tone. Or they look like those little gold stars that you used to get in school. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's called Starface.
Starface,
That's the trendiest of the brands.
I'm really torn on the pimple patch discussion, but I want to hear you. We've talked a little bit about it, but are we in? Okay, everybody stop. Best seats.
Oh no. They're only letting you do 4?
Oh,
Is it 4 tickets or you don't get to go?
Didn't they want to like prevent scalpers?
You're making me resell those tickets now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make 2 friends.
Yeah.
You don't want another person
all
next
my
to you.
friends that I know that like Damien Rice, it's a small group, and none of them live here. Like, it's not a thing like you just bring up casually, like, hey, you like Damien Rice? Because even Andy's like, yeah, sure, I'll go to a show. Like, that's not
I like
enough.
shows.
The show's almost sold out 10 minutes into pre-sale. Ticketmaster is making me a capitalist.
Yeah.
So, long story short, if anyone is trying to become friends with us or likes Damien Rice, I mean, my Venmo is at Dustin-Nickerson. Just start making some bids. We'll see what happens.
At friendship or tickets?
Both. I'm just saying, if you want to be friends with us December 4th at the Orpheum in L.A., I mean, Andy could
I think
do.
it's the 8th, but
I think it's the 4th.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Andy could just be like, "Hey, you want half a month off?" It's just so specific. Pimple patches.
Starface.
Starface.
So
Okay. Here's to me the tension with pimple patches.
okay.
I love the heart behind here are my flaws. I have them. I'm not hiding my acne from the world. I love the spirit behind that. What I don't love is it's still a flex because they're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't afford pimple patches as a kid. There's no way. I looked how
No.
much they are. They're like $30 for a pack
It's like
of them.
$13 for 40 stars.
That is like, you have to have a parent who has cosmetic, like our kids ask for them. You're like, I think you just have to have a zit. That's what you just have
Well,
to.
skincare is like a really big thing amongst the youth
Yeah.
now. And it wasn't for us. Like maybe there was like a Clearsol commercial or something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Adam Levine did the thing for a while. There was
I mean, skincare has been a thing for teens, but it's like
yeah.
they have jade rollers and
Yeah.
they have masks and those little headbands
Yeah.
for their skincare. It's a big part of teen culture right now. But it is a flex because those stars are very
Those
expensive.
stars are expensive. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't love that aspect of
but
it.
maybe it's a what's it called? You know, oh man,
I just
I'm
feel
trying
like
to remember
yeah,
a word.
It's
A way to express themselves.
it's
but-
a name brand pimple patch is
yeah,
what
it's
it is.
the Guess jeans of
Yeah.
Gen Z.
You're like, I'm not gonna do the Kmart pimple patches, Mom. I gotta
Well,
have brand name pimple patches now.
I thought they would just wear them at night, but it's like a thing to wear them.
Yeah.
Because
I love the
I don't know how
spirit
long you're supposed
behind
to wear
that
'em.
because one of the nice things about Gen Z is the lack of presentation. You know, they're like, this is me. I'm comfortable.
kind of the Billie Eilish effect.
I have no world or future in front of me, so I might as well just be comfortable. Not go to college, wear comfy clothes, have acne. I love that for you. I love that for you, Gen Z. However, I did this. It's expensive. It's still expensive.
still expensive.
Still
Still classist.
it comes across as humble, but it's still vanity. It's still
Sure.
vanity. If you really want to be humble, just have the zit. Because nothing will give you character. Nothing will build your character like acne scars. Nothing will put
Well,
a...
Go ahead.
No, it's
No,
you.
sorry, I interrupted.
I have back knee, so I'm not
okay,
gonna put them on. I'm not gonna wear my pimple patches in my wrestling singlet. That's not gonna get me anywhere I
That's
want to
what I was
be.
gonna say is you would have needed boxes of stars.
I there couldn't have been. I would
Your
have
whole,
just
you had a beard of stars.
me. You didn't even know me back then.
I'm just saying that like having one pimple and one star on your face.
This is what people with
did
clear
too.
skin do.
I
See,
did
a beard of stars.
I did too know you back
I'd have been
then.
bad.
Vanity stars that float below
Yes,
your face.
I just I've been James Harden of but it's all just pimple patches going down. They're like swings in the wind.
I find them like on their sheets and on
Yeah.
the carpets.
I don't know.
Hilarious.
It's yeah. I get real mixed feelings about it.
This all started when we started caring about mental health.
Back in the day, you just got bullied for your flaws. Now,
You wear your flaws on your sleeve. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
I'm gonna say it's like braces
that's
because
exactly yeah.
braces are very expensive,
Very, very expensive.
and you should be grateful if you're
Yep.
able to get them.
Yeah, nothing says humble origins like a gap in your teeth.
I see the little ding.
Yeah, This is not intentional. Would have fixed it if I could. Ding. Yeah, that was we were at that level where like if it was like bad, I think a dentist or an orthodontist would be like, hey, you don't have a choice here. But you know, it's all right. It's a gift to be able to give your kid braces and pimple patches is what we're saying, I guess. But
I put the star ones in their Easter baskets because I was like, those generic ones you get way more.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny. It's a Gen Z. It's every generation that you're like, they're doing what?
The teens these days.
You're not supposed to cover up that with a star. You're supposed to cry about that by yourself in the bathroom. That's what that's for.
Your aunt is supposed to bop that.
Yeah.
Family
your
reunion.
Your whole perspective changes, right? As a parent, as you get older. I was thinking about this the other day. Like there's two certainties in life, right? There's the old phrase. There are two certainties in life: death and taxes.
Right.
And when you're a parent, there's a third: laundry. That's the third now.
Yeah.
They're just the never. I'm amazed at, and you primarily do this, so I'm not acting like this is like a huge. So this it made me think of it because you're talking about finding pimple patches everywhere. It's just it's just kind of it just always is.
Yeah, when you're home.
Yeah.
When you're home, everything I say is like, okay, but I'm gonna go change the laundry first.
Yeah.
You know?
Laundry is the Yahweh of chores. It just I am. It just exists.
And
it's just before time and after time. Laundry exists
past,
forever.
present, and future.
Yeah.
And
the alpha and omega.
So you have laundry that's dirty. You have laundry that needs to be folded. You have laundry that's in the process. 100%.
The only way to stop it would just be nude for a few days. That's the only way you could stop the laundry, which is why that's what I'm proposing. We wear just pimple patches to cover our naughty bits, and
problem solved.
Yeah.
Everything's solved.
We're leaving that elementary school anyways. Let's go out with a bang.
But I think parents that work in an office, their kids have to move the laundry, or they have to spend the whole weekend doing laundry, because I did laundry Saturday and Sunday for clothes.
Right.
The kids fold it and put it away.
Yeah.
But to keep the cycle going, I just set a timer and do it whenever I'm home. I did it Saturday, Sunday, and they started doing the sheets and blankets Monday, Tuesday. So now we are on day 4 of getting everything done. And I do not wash our blankets and sheets as much as I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone that. I'm like, if you could use a top sheet, we would have less laundry.
Right.
You would be more clean.
Yeah, 100%.
But they won't. So I'm like, well, Yeah.
I remember being like 13 and I had a baseball game and I couldn't find my uniform, and I went and I realized that it hadn't been washed. It was still dirty and I had slid and it had stains all over, and I was like, oh, I don't have a mom in my house. I guess I'm being raised by a single parent. Like, that was a revelation for me. I was like, oh, it's just one parent in the home.
I mean, Andy knows, like, you get home from a baseball game, you're like, take off your white pants, and then you're spraying them down, you're pre-soaking them, you're washing them. I mean, that stuff, like the potty training years, like, you literally always have a load going.
After a soccer game,
the wet sheets, like.
When my dad, I remember a couple really muddy soccer games for me.
Well,
as
the
a
Northwest.
Kid. Yeah, and I was a goalie, which means you were diving. And I remember a couple of the games my dad was able to make it to. Like, I rode in the back of the van, not the back seat, the back of the van, like
the trunk,
the space between the back seat.
That's the trunk.
Yeah, the back seat, but it's not really a trunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, the space between the back seat and the end of the van, he would lay a towel down, which is so funny because the van seats 7, and so it's just him driving and me in the trunk on a towel, and then I couldn't come inside with this muddy clothes, so I would have
garage.
No, I would have to walk around the house and then get down to my skivvies and leave those clothes outside.
Yeah.
But because I was raised by a single parent, they weren't always clean by the next game. They're
still outside.
They were still outside.
Yeah.
Sitting on the deck.
Well, that's like if you go to the beach. That's in San Diego.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 hours of laundry.
Yeah.
A giant pile of wet towels that sit there for
wet
2 weeks.
Sand
2 weeks. Yeah.
And seaweed and So it's.
Throw it in the sun, baby. Let it just go dry on that hot grass.
But every region has their things.
Every region has their things. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of stuff we didn't get to. We'll get to it next week, everybody, because you know what? We're still going to be teaching our kid how to drive in a week, and we're still going to have acid reflux in a week. Let's do a couple emails.
Okay.
And then we're out of here. All right, ready?
Yeah.
This email is from Jody.
Hi, Jody.
Subject: Clean comedians. Just listen to your Brian Regan episode, which I I don't know.
We talked about.
We talked about him, yeah.
Yep.
I know of him and John Christ and obviously yourself. Can you give me some other names of clean comedians? I like to listen to clean comics while I work and need me some variety. Why don't you two go first?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld, a little up-and-comer on his way. Jim Gaffigan.
Gaffigan. Well, what about Kellen?
Kellen Erskine, guest of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've worked with the very funny Tim Hawkins. Tim is great.
Yeah.
Tom Papa's very, very funny.
Leanne Morgan.
Leanne Morgan's special is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
You and I together, Leanne Morgan's special, I have not laughed that hard at a special with somebody in so long. So long.
Yes.
Leanne Morgan's special is so, so good. Check out Leanne Morgan.
Check that out.
And there's also this little up-and-comer called Nate Bargatze that I would recommend you check out.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Weber's great.
Mm-hmm. He's got an
Up-and-coming
audio
clean
album.
guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dusty Slay.
Dusty's clean-ish. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dusty's a clean, and he's in the vicinity of clean.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
All good names. Angela Johnson has a new special. Check out Angela Johnson's new special. She's clean as well.
And she also has like 9 other specials.
Yeah. She's a legend. All right.
The up-and-comer Angela Johnson.
One more email. Subject, May. This is from Rebecca. Dustin and Melissa,
Okay.
you joked
Hi,
about
Rebecca.
celebrating Grandma's May birthday in June, but years ago we normalized for our May birthday daughter, turning 9 next week, that her birthday is celebrated in June. Kids don't know what isn't normal unless someone tells them. Thanks for the laugh.
Aw.
I love that. That's great. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to the pod. Appreciate you.
All right. See ya.
See you December 4th at Damien Rice at the Orvia. Woo! Hey there, everybody. Wanted to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our highest level patron, $25 up in a month. Thanks so much for supporting the podcast. That's Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson.
Averill Griffiths,
Bonnie Galindo.
Caroline Crimmins,
Carrie Teague.
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling.
Demarius Diaz-Stevens,
Dave and Melissa Cox.
Dave Hoagland,
Farrah Journey.
Isaac Teron,
Jason White.
Jennifer Ashley Downs,
Jessica Sewell.
Jordan Cowan,
Lori Amos.
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt.
Nicole Carraz,
Rachel Wilson.
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capen.
Stephen Mena,
And
Tiffany Payne.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
so much, everybody, for supporting the pod. Appreciate you so much.